Hey everybody, welcome back to Wednesday Night Wheelguns. It is Wednesday, February 7th. I am your host, the Mystery Wheelgunner. Tonight's episode, hey, Wheelguns will never die. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think revolvers will ever regain the prominence they once had. That being said, I also think revolvers are going to stick around for a while. They're just too cool, and they are quite prominent in pop culture. And things that are and stay prominent in pop culture, yeah, they stick around for quite a bit. Case in point, tonight's example of coolness, Escape from L.A., which is the sequel to Escape from New York. Kurt Russell returns to reprise his role as the hero, Snake Plissken. Allow me to present you with a quick overview of Escape from L.A., and I'll try to be as spoiler-free as possible. Set several years after the events of Escape from New York, we see that the Earth has taken a very big downturn. I mean, Escape from New York wasn't exactly a happy movie, and you could clearly see it's rather dystopian. But Escape from L.A. manages to crank up the dystopia even further. The new president of the United States of America changes the U.S. Constitution so that he can serve a lifetime term. Yeah, there's always a good idea, but it gets worse. He's one of those religious nutjobs. The president's sheltered daughter is smitten by a charming but murderous revolutionary. She steals an important piece of equipment and runs away. Enter the hero, or anti-hero if you will. The U.S. president asks Snake Plissken to retrieve both his daughter and the important piece of equipment she absconded with. And to help convince Snake to take on the mission, they give him one heck of a deal. You see, Snake's been a bit of a bad boy since we saw him last in Escape from New York. He's committed quite a few crimes, and he is wanted by the government. But if he takes on and completes the mission, guess what? He gets a full presidential pardon. And to further sweeten the deal, they inject Snake with a virus that's going to kill him in a few hours. But hey, here's the good news. If he can complete the mission, not only does he get the full presidential pardon, he gets the antidote for the virus that's killing him. Yeah, sounds exactly like something the U.S. government would do. Okay, so now that we know the basic premise of this wonderfully wild and wacky movie, what does this have to do with wheelguns? Well, early in the movie, after they, conscript Snake, Snake asks, "Where are my guns?" Yeah, and you know what kind of guns he's got? According to this Facebook post by NRA Museums, the production crew ordered up two 6.29 44 Magnum revolvers from Smith & Wesson. But wait, not just Smith & Wesson, it was the Performance Center. Yeah, that's right. Snake's wheelguns are 6.29 Performance Center revolvers. Let's take a look at these guns in detail. Now, these are two reference pictures I found on the internet. The top left is from NRA Museums, the bottom right is from IMFDB, and supposedly both are pictures of the actual guns used in the movie and ordered from the Performance Center. While they are very close, as you'll see, they are not identical. So the gun in the NRA Museums picture has an optics rail with two slots. The IMFDB picture has a revolver with a 3-slot optics rail, so a bit of a discrepancy there. Also notice the butt of the grip from the NRA Museums picture flares outwards. The gun on the IMFDB picture has a butt that's more rounded. See, it doesn't flare out, it rounds in. So, did somebody make a mistake? As far as these pictures, is one of these guns not authentic? I don't know. Keep in mind that while both guns were indeed ordered from the Performance Center, it doesn't mean they were made identical. There could have been some, miscommunication at the Performance Center where maybe one guy thought, hey, this needs to have a 2-slot rail, and the other guy was like, well, I don't know, I made the other gun with a different number of slots in the rail. Who knows? We'll just go with both of these are Snake's guns. They're just not quite identical. And for those of you wondering if watching the movie will help clear up the situation here, not really. You'd think that they would give us a good side-by-side, especially in the scene where Snake asks for his guns, and the one guy, played by Stacy Keach, sorry, I forgot the character's name, but, Stacy Keach is like, yeah, I thought you'd ask for them. But when he hands Snake his dual revolvers, they're in the holster, and Snake doesn't pull them out to inspect them. There is no side-by-side. So, yeah, good luck determining whether or not both guns are identical. Okay, let's go on to the other details. As you can see, both guns do have the Performance Center logo. Both guns have this really weirdly shaped thumb piece. It's got the wider thumbprint, or thumb area. I call it the thumbprint. It's got the old school style thumbprint, but it's offset. It's not centered. This is kind of a weird looking thumb piece. I'll admit I'm not a big fan of it, and I'm glad Smith & Wesson did not go with this style for too long. Both guns have hammer mounted firing pins. You can tell because you can see the roll pin that holds the firing pin in place. Both guns have the trigger stop on the trigger, unfluted cylinders, and ported slab-sided barrels. On to the sights. Both guns have a very prominent front sight that is dovetailed in. The rear sight seems to be the standard click-adjustable Smith & Wesson rear sight. Of course, both have the optics rail, and they are topped off with Aimpoint red dot sights. And yeah, those sights be looking kind of big, but you have to remember, Escape from L.A. was released in 1996, so yeah, this is kind of state of the art for that time. The whole compact red dot thing, yeah, that was still a few years away. According to IMFDB, Snake's guns are also competitor models, which means they're going to have a weighted barrel system. This is a pretty cool feature that allows the user to determine just how barrel light or how barrel heavy the gun is going to be by adding or removing weights located underneath the barrel. You pretty much can't see the barrel weight mechanism in the side shots, but in this shot right here, you can clearly see the recess where the barrel weights are going to be. And there it is, a look at two very cool revolvers, Snake Plissken's Smith & Wesson 629 Performance Center revolvers in the movie Escape from L.A. That'll do it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, tell your neighbors, tell your friends, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Take care. Catch you next time.